anyway, I was talking about how one of the things that is pretty cool for my coping mechanisms would be to like get a big thing of paper and then just put it on the walls, because one of the things that happens before I really freak out is I start saying the walls are closing in on me, the walls are closing in on me. But, you know, maybe if I could put something inspiring, you know, write that on the wall, whether it's scripture or something, then, you know, maybe that could help like de-escalate how I'm feeling, because like it wouldn't be the walls as much, but maybe it would be like what's written on it. And I guess that could go either way. I really don't know because I haven't tried it yet. So I think it'll be interesting if, you know, a situation does arise where I'm feeling like, you know, I need to, you know, the walls are closing in. So I'm kind of interested to see how that would turn out. Another one, it sounds kind of obvious, but I haven't really considered it, and that would be to focus on nature. Now, I'm gonna run into these problems at night, so I'm a little bit limited in what, you know, how I could actually tap into that. But I do have, like, outside, it would be pretty dark, obviously, but next to my window there's a tree and some grass, and it's pretty dark, but the cool thing is I could look up at the stars and, you know, maybe even have a seat and kind of, you know, exercise the mindfulness of, you know, touching the bark or something. And it's an option. I mean, I don't see how it can hurt at all. It's better than driving away. And this kind of goes back, the next one is write your own psalms of what feeling and that God is present. And then that kind of goes with, you know, you could put that with writing that on the wall. So that's pretty cool because I love to write. So that's definitely an option. And it's interesting that she would, you know, mention that she came up with the next one, and it's counting blessings, gratitude. And I was just actually reading this morning about counting your every blessing. And that's something that I could definitely do. It wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be this like, you know, ongoing project and stuff. I mean, I could just count them like 1, 2, 3. And the nice thing about this list is that it's designed to go from like, there's 20, and it's designed to go from like 1, 2, 3, 4, and just go down the list. And the nice thing about that is that it's really compatible to someone like me who has ADHD, because then, you know, if something doesn't work, if it's something like, well, I don't want to watch a movie, okay, now I'm going to read a book. Okay, now I'm going to go outside. Okay, now I'm going to light a candle. And sometimes I feel bad, like, why can't I stick to anything? But that's sort of part of the program. It would be okay to go from one thing to one thing. So that kind of, you know, gives me a break, you know, because I get down on myself, like, oh, I can't concentrate, I can't do this, I can't do that when I get like that. So I think that's kind of cool. And on the list is actually the last thing on the list, and that is to call someone. And that's definitely a good option, but I think the conversations can be a lot more productive when the situation has at least escalated a bit. And I think that if I were to do these things, even if I wasn't totally calm, like, oh yeah, things are great, la 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 la, everything's fantastic, I think that, you know, chances are I would probably be at least a little bit more calm and coherent by the time, you know, I did reach out to someone. So I think that makes sense. I do think that makes sense. And yeah, that's what we talked about today, basically. And sort of like in the background of what's going on with that is I'm starting to think about my living situation. It's not ideal. It's hard for me to admit this, but I just don't think that I'm ready, you know, to live by myself, just with, you know, what I've been through. I mean, I was in a rehabilitation program and I got out like in December, and I'm doing great, but I have a lot of responsibility, and I think that maybe this is just a little bit too much like freedom for me. So I'm starting to think about, my lease goes until October, and so I'm starting to sort of have an open mind about different avenues where I could, what direction to go into. I mean, my heart's desire would be, you know, to live with someone like someone I know, like a friend, or even if I don't know that well, which is someone who could be trusted, maybe someone older, or someone who could help keep me accountable. I mean, I'm not saying like to be a babysitter or something. I mean, I'm not even home most of the day, but just, someone who is like a Paul, a Paul to me, like in their walk, and someone who could like help lift me up, and maybe someone who I could be a blessing to as well. And I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't want to pigeonhole anything, but that is a desire of my heart. I'm also thinking about talking to my case manager. There's possibility of like adult foster care, to where like you would have, you wouldn't be by yourself, and you would have, I guess, some supervision. But the problem with that is that I might end up paying for like a lot of services. It could be like way too expensive, and I could be paying for things where I don't even need, like 24-hour supervision, and I definitely don't need that. So, but I do want to talk to my case manager, and but regardless of anything like that, I still, I need to take responsibility for my life. Whether I'm gonna move, with someone, I'm gonna move like into some place where there's other people, or with a friend, or I don't know, wherever I go, that doesn't cancel out the fact that I need to be an adult and take responsibility for how I handle my life. And that's tough, but it's something that regardless, it has to be done, because I don't want to rely on people. I want to rely on God. And a lot of relying on God is taking His direction, even when it's like hard to swallow. I mean, when I'm really upset, frankly, I don't really want to light a candle and watch a movie. I'm more likely to get mad. Like, God, why am I in this place in my life where I'm by myself in an apartment, lighting a candle? What else is on the list? I didn't write all of these. It's like scalp massage, have a cup of tea. I mean, I was like tolerant. I was like, okay, you can put that on the list. That's fine. But it's just, that's not the first thing that comes to my mind. It's more like I want to lash out even at God. And, but that's not walking in the Spirit. And however hard it's going to be, I know in my mind that I do need to be a responsible person. And a lot of that is being in His will. And if it's, working down this list, then that's just what I'm going to have to do. So even with my heart's desire to move, this list must be very much in the picture. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. The other thing, I didn't put it on the list, but is going to the library. The library near my house is like only open till 8. But the one a little bit further away is open till 9. So that's something that I might do, and that's where I, go to upload any videos anyway, because I don't want to use my gigabytes here. But anyway, guys, this is a recap of session 4. I feel like there is something else that I wanted to say, but I can't really think of it right now. As always, I'd be really interested to know what any of you guys think. If you have any questions for me, and I'd really appreciate all of your prayers, and thank you so much for watching. See ya.